Hey everybody, Shark Scrapper. Well, we're gonna do something fun today. As you can see behind me, here, let me show you. I picked up a load of wire from one of my electricians. This guy's really good. He gets me some great stuff, and I gotta work out a better price for him for this stuff. Look at that. Oh, that is nice. I don't want to just give him #1 insulated. I want to try to give him something a little better for that. So we'll see what we can do there. But that's not what I'm really talking about. This is going to be sorting wire, and that'll be informational for folks that are kind of new to scrapping. But the other piece of this is going to be for those of you that create your own videos. I'm testing out a new piece of hardware. Here, let me show you. So this is the Deity wireless mic system. I saw these folks, they had a booth at Vid Summit, and I spent some time talking to them about improving the audio, and this was the suggestion we came up with. So I went ahead and purchased this, really not that expensive, $169 or something like that, and there was some sort of discount too that even lowered it a little bit more than that. But it's not terribly expensive even if you don't get the discount. And here's the idea. You have one part of it that sits on the camera. In this case, it's my GoPro 9 in the media kit, and it plugs into the camera through the media kit. So the audio is going to feed right into the SSD card as this is recording. This part over here will clip onto my belt, and it has a lav mic. Now I don't have to use the lav mic. I could just clip that on my belt, but I'm going to try the lav mic and see how well that works. Actually, what I'm going to do is a couple things. I'm going to take the lav mic off and do some of it without it, and then put it on, and so we'll see how that works for quality. Now the idea here is that I can go anywhere because this is what's recording my voice, and then it's feeding it wirelessly over to the camera, so the camera can be positioned someplace and I can move around and there'll be no degradation in the audio quality. That's the theory. So let's go ahead and play around with this while I sort out all this wire and see how well it works out. Your feedback is going to be really important to help me with this. Okay, so we're going to start out like this. It's a little bit clunky. I got the wire hanging out because at some point I'm going to disconnect it and test it with just the wireless transmitter part. So right now, a little bit clunky, but the idea here is that we're testing out how well it records the sound as I move around. So as you can see, I'm walking back into the shark cage here, gather up some bins for the wire. And we're about 3/4 of the way back now into the shark cage here. So long way back. Now, let's see. Let's start off with whatever I pick up first. All right, so this is #1 insulated. Very nice. This electrician always gives me some really cool stuff. So #1 insulated. This is really thick #1 that would be stripped, so I'm setting this aside. This is the stuff that I want to see if I can't come up with a better way to price that out for him, so I can give him a little more in return, because I know that I'm going to strip this. I mean, that's just some real nice bare bright inside there once I get the casing off, and it just seems to me like maybe I can do something better for him. I know some of you are probably saying to yourself, well, I don't owe him anything. It's #1 insulated the way it is. Yes, but I want to keep this guy as a client for a long time. So if I can figure out a way to get him a little more money and I still make good money out of it, then we're all happy. Because I mean, just look at that. That is some beautiful copper inside there. So we're going to see what we can do. Just pulling out the stuff that I know I'm going to strip, just to see if there's something I can do to make it a little better, keep him happy with me. Nice chunks of this, and they're already kind of cut into manageable sizes for the most part, so that's cool. The insulation is really thick on those, so it may be time to invest in a better wire stripper. Maybe I'll be giving Stripmeister a call. Whoa, that's a big one. This one. Okay, now, all right, at this point I'm going to disconnect the lav mic and we're going to see how that works. Now, one of the things that I like about the Deity is that the lav mic actually screws on. It's not just plugged in, so it can't accidentally pull out. You actually have to unscrew it. So now the lav mic is disconnected. And it's just the microphone that's on this device here. I'm going to attach it to my belt. We'll see how that sounds for a while. And then I'll hook it to my shirt and see how that sounds. There is also a dead cat for it. I did not bring the dead cat with me. For those of you that aren't familiar with the terminology, sometimes you'll see these little fuzzy things. Sometimes it's sponge. Sometimes it looks like a little fur ball on a microphone. That's called a dead cat. It is to reduce wind noise. All right, Romex. Romex. And what are you? Yeah, you guys are going to be number one. I'm going to put you in for number one. I don't think I'm going to strip you. Some of the number one is just not worth my time to strip. So when I'm getting the stuff from this electrician, I separate it as number one insulated that I'm going to strip and number one insulated that I'm not going to strip. I might strip this, so I'm going to put this, but this is, nah, it's just going to be number one. Numero uno. Romex. Number one. All right, now let's go ahead and move the microphone up to my collar now. And I think what I'm going to do is put it on the back of my neck first. That way it's not right in my way. Let's see what it sounds like when it's in the back of my neck. And then we'll move it around. Just more room. Of course, now mind you, when I say Romex, that's the brand name for this wire that has the bare core in it, and then 2 to 3 runs in it, insulated runs in it. The brand name is Romex, but a lot of times we just refer to it as Romex. All right, here's some more number one. Whoa, that's a big old heavy piece. That can hurt you. All right, let's go ahead and move this microphone now back to the front. Well, not back to the front, but over to the front. All right. That's a little bit heavy on my collar. The lav mic is not nearly as heavy, so that gives the lav an incentive. And if I do the lav mic for a real record, I'd have the wire going down my shirt with this thing clipped to my belt or in a pocket or something, so the wire isn't hanging all over the place. All right, now let's see, what do we got going here? This is coiled up. Looks like number one. I just got to find the end on it somewhere. Pretty sure that's going to be number one. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the number one till I find the end of it. Come on, baby. Where you at? Yeah, it's that piece. But I'm looking for the end of this bigger stuff. Here we are. Yeah, that's number one. So we have another test of another position. All right, what do we have here? Copper. I'm going to throw you in with the number two. And another complete miss. Romex. And Romex. Here's an example of they got careless and left an empty shell in there. No big deal. And that one didn't go in the trash can either. Let's just go ahead and have some fun. Move the camera around to some different locations. Test stuff out. Put you there. You know what? I'm go ahead and reload all this stuff. Nah. Yeah. Yet. Yeah, I don't need to. But I am going to tear out this bin. All right, this bin is 3 pounds. Can't write on it. Well, I can, but I won't be able to read it because it's black, right? So just got to remember that that's a 3-pound bin. Oh, my number one insulated kind of overflowed a little bit, so we're going to have 2 bins. That bin is 3 pounds. This bin is also 3 pounds. Oh, mamma jamba, you're heavy too. There's a little spool, plastic spool. I'm not worried about that. The plastic spool hardly weighs anything at all. All right, so 74 minus 6. Insulated number one. 74 minus 6. 68. And the Bear Bright is not going to weigh on that scale at all. So, hey, this will be a fun test. I'm going to walk all the way to the back of the shark cage. So the camera is now about halfway back in the shark cage. I'm going to walk all the way to the back of the shark cage. And we'll see how well we do for for the audio when I'm nowhere near the camera, which is boring for you all. I do apologize. Get you plugged in. Okay, Bear Bright 0.46. 0.46. All right, so this has been a good test of the Deity wireless mic arrangement on my GoPro 9 with Media Kit. That was a lot of fun. I had a real good time testing the Deity wireless mic setup on my GoPro 9 with Media Kit. I'm looking forward to testing it out, and we'll see how the files came out when I get back to the office tonight.